Welcome back, everybody, to the For My Future Self podcast.
What's good? It's Callie.
And it's Serena.
And
Tati.
We're so happy that Tati is here. Well, first of all, before we introduce her, we love her.
A lot.
We cannot live without her. We're actually very blessed for her to be here. And we just want to say we're grateful for your
real,
new
honestly.
friendship and like not just like connection and like networking. Like I can just throw that out the window. I feel like this new woman connection, new friendship. I think friendships that you make in like your later 20s, they just make a difference. It just hits different. It hits so different. So like before we introduce you, I wanted to like just show appreciation, gratitude for you being here. But yeah, welcome back to another guest on For My Future Self.
We're so happy.
It's been a minute, so and I think you guys are in for a really good one.
Because Tati here is like, and she expressed gratitude because you're here, but just like in general, like your posts, like seeing you on my feed, because ever since our For Her event, which is where we met, you know, you started popping up more, right, on my feed.
Yeah, the algorithm was algorithm.
And it's just like every day I get that little hint of like serotonin because like your posts are just so like inspiring and like uplifts me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do it. It's like whatever you say, I'm like, that's my motto for the day. I literally told her one time, I was like, whatever you were like, don't follow the mood or something like that. What was it?
Follow the plan, baby.
Follow the plan, not the mood. Period.
Yeah, because our emotions could be deceiving. But yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself. You keep talking, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Tatiana. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you guys so much. And like, I just want to hit on what you said about making friendships in your later 20s. That is crazy. That is so real. Like, I feel like the friendships that I'm cultivating now are friendships that I've prayed for, and they feel like a breath of fresh air, you know. And one thing that has been so apparent, like one of the messages that a lot of my friends are cultivating is like collaboration over competition, you know. And that was at an event from one of my friends at the Leia, and I was just like, ugh, it just like feels so good. And so to come around and be around like-minded women is so refreshing. So the gratitude is gratituding. And I am so grateful. Thank you guys for being here.
Of course. I think when we put together, hopefully you guys already seen our last podcast. We talked about her table for her, the community, the collective we're trying to build here in the community of Sacramento. Tati was one of the women that were there at her table, and when me and Serena put together that list, not only they were already part of For Her, we wanted to add to the pot a little bit, add another chef in the kitchen. So I was like, one of the first names I thought about was Tati, because I've met you, I want to say it was right after pandemic, when everything started opening up again, 2021, when you had your first event, 2022 sometime. And I'm like, okay, I think I was following you already, but I'm like, you've had like a really positive, lasting impression on both of us, even though you haven't met us yet. So that's why I'm like, you met me. Well, you met me, but not like you didn't like talk to me. I didn't know you yet. I didn't know you either, but like I just felt like I just need to talk to her. Like I need to get to know her, and I feel like others need to speak to her too, because whenever I hear you speak, and like whenever you are just educating or just trying to not only uplift others, but you're like talking to yourself. Like, this is not just for you guys, this is for me actually. Like, I'm going through it. Like, it's very, how do you say, like, timely when you don't think it is. And I think it resonates really well with people because it's easy to connect. So I want to say you're doing a great job. And I
love to see it.
Yeah, and like she was at her table, and like we were just thriving in our conversations, and like energy was just back to back, and then like we had to have her on the podcast. So.
Absolutely. Like one of the first people from after that event, we're like, Tati, we need her in this chair.
The chair, yes.
Now look at us.
I know, we're here. So on top of you, like us following you on social, like for those of you who have no context of who you are, can you kind of dive into like what you do?
Yes.
What you do best?
Absolutely. So I am and have been for the longest time now a personal trainer. And I would say that's where my journey started. I was an athlete for most of my life, got hurt playing soccer in my senior year of high school. And I was like, okay, I need something that's more sustainable so I don't get hurt. I want to continue to move my body. So I jumped into strength training, and that led me to getting and obtaining my personal training certification. So I started personal training, and then I was like, you know what? This will only take me so far. I also need to dial in nutrition. So then I got my certified in nutrition also. And from there, it's just been like, I've been coaching for almost a decade now, and I started in person. It was lovely. There was a crazy time where I was working at like 4 different gyms all around Sacramento. And a lot of the trainers, I feel like, start that way. They're trying to build their business. Yes. You know, they're trying to like get their clients. Yeah. And I was young. I was a baby. I was like 20, you know, 19 when I first started. And so I worked my way to the corporate world, found out really quickly that it was not for me. And then I was like, you know what, we're just going to try to take this online. And at that same time, I was also competing in my first bikini competition. So that was a whole ordeal, but that's also part of the story, so let's dive in. Have you guys ever done anything, you know, friends that have done bikini competitions?
I've known a couple of people that have.
I've seen someone on my timeline,
right? So everyone has their own experience. I'm very thankful for mine. It taught me a lot. It's also what sparked my entire business, because from my approach to it, I hired a coach. It was my first time working with a coach. So I didn't really know what to expect, you know, and again, I was really young, a little naive. Baby Tati, we love her though.
Right? Baby self.
Yeah, so I was competing, I was tracking all of my macros, everything was very strict. My relationship with food started to like get a little wibbly wobbly because I was bringing so much focus and awareness to everything I was consuming and how I was moving my body. So there came a point where I was overtraining, I was under eating, I was under recovered, and I was highly stimulated, and I was still trying to juggle all these jobs. So it just felt like I was living from a place of fight or flight, and I didn't have what I needed to just feel regulated, and I felt like I needed to emotionally regulate, and I didn't know how. And so I do my competition, look great, win all the medals. My coach is like, let's on to the next, like, you killed it, let's go. And I'm in this and I feel so much adrenaline and dopamine, and I'm getting all this external validation from everybody that I've always wanted to get and feel. And I was like, you know what, like, my body was like so obsessed with just eating. Like, I just wanted to eat because of how hungry I was, how like effed up my hormones were. And I was like, you know what, I don't think I can do it, so I dropped out. And this is right when I had started taking my business online, and so I was a well-known trainer in the community already, and I gained like 20 pounds in like 4 months, and it so fast. And I just felt like my hormones were all over the place. I didn't have the motivation to go to the gym because I didn't like the way I looked, because I was I was depending so much on the validation from other people. There was no like giving it to myself. Like, I didn't know how. And so, and I also, like, that was my first real experience with fitness and nutrition, and it felt so unsustainable. So I was like, oh my gosh, it was so intense. And I was like, this can't be the only way that I can reach my goals, by going to the gym twice a day, eating bird food, you know. So I'm like, I was like, we need to fix this. So I did something called reverse diet, which is just it's the opposite of cutting down and losing body fat. The goal is to gain lean muscle, maintain body fat, not gain too much, and really improve your metabolism and take care of your hormones. And so I started working on that journey. I started to work on facing the guilt, the shame from all the weight that I had gained, trying to still get out into the community because it was my job, you know, and so it just felt hard. But then from that whole experience, what was birthed my online training program. So I was like, you know what, I want to help women look and feel their best, lose body weight, you know, feel confident, but do it in a way that is so sustainable. And it just, I had the exact opposite experience, so I knew everything that I didn't want. It was like dating a toxic boyfriend. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, did there, done that. Now I know what I don't want, so I can focus more on what I do want. And so fast forward to, I want to say 2020. The COVID, right? The COVID. Right, like that whole thing happened, and to be honest, it was the best thing for myself and my business, because I was teaching, in between teaching boxing, hot Pilates, and training clients. It was like 10 sessions. It was a lot, so I just felt like I wasn't able to pour into myself because I was pouring into everybody else. And so COVID really forced me to slow down, as I'm sure it did with y'all, right?
Everybody,
and then from there, everyone was at home, and I was like, okay, well, I have the time, let me work on myself. And so my business just blew up, and it taught me a lot. And I was like, okay, this is it, we're fully in it, we're really doing it. I really hard committed. And then it's changed so much over the years, but it's been a full journey of being a trainer, being a nutritionist, but not just that, like learning how to navigate and even build a business, like how to market, you know, because I just knew how to like train, like I was a trainer, I was a nutritionist. I didn't know how to show up online and like market, you know, and have people come in and build my email list. So it's like been a whole bunch of steps along the way, and I feel like all of that has allowed me to just embody more. Just like I feel like I have more to offer. Like I know more. I feel more intelligent because of all the trials I've gone through. I've made a lot of mistakes, you know, but it's also been a learning process along the way. And I wouldn't trade it for a thing, and it's only getting better. And so we can go more into it, but that's a little gist for anyone that hasn't met
I love
you
your
yet.
story.
I know.
I think a lot of people can relate, and this is just a prime example for anyone that might have been young Tati. That's that person right now. It's just, and I've experienced this personally too. You have to go through. I feel like as you're learning to navigate yourself and your business, those moments of doing things that maybe weren't right for you, you needed those, because then it's the part where you said, I learned what I didn't want, and that's just what built you up to like get to where you are, right? And then you have to know it's like getting to know, it's like a whole ass journey.
Know thyself, baby.
Knowing yourself, and I just feel like, how are you navigating like all that, like emotionally, and like how did you get to like this point?
So that's such a good question. Let's reflect, because I'm a very emotional being, you know, and I think a lot of us can say
you're on the right chair right now. Talking to the two that cry a lot.
Right? Like I cry. But I'm a Pisces too, so it's like water through and through. But I had to get to the point where I was so uncomfortable feeling emotionally unstable. Like just to be so real.
That's
so real. And I'm not even gonna lie, there was something that triggered me. There was this doctor, I think she was a psychologist, and she was talking about how women mistake being intuitive and empathetic for just highly over emotional. And I was like, what? No, like I'm intuitive.
How dare you?
Right?
Empathetic as heck.
Right? Yes. And like I see that, and I work with all women, right? And so all emotional beings, but like we cannot continue to give our power away to just like anything, right? Like if someone comes to me and they're going through something, honestly, to respect my own boundaries, to honor how I feel, I'm not going to take on what they're feeling, because it's not for me. Like I'm not in their shoes, I'm not in their skin, I haven't walked through what they've walked through, so it's just not for me. It's a way to protect myself and also just hold space, you know. I want to feel grounded and calm, so people also feel like they can feel regulated, but not just that, like they have the power to regulate their own emotions, you know. And so I was having this conversation with my fiance a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? I think it's just time to enter a logic era. Like, I just want to bring in more logic to my very high, sensitive, emotional self, because between the two of those, like, doesn't that create harmony? And more than anything, I want to feel balanced. And so I feel like navigating it, I've used a lot of practices, a lot of psychology, a lot of meditation, a lot of self-reflection, journaling, moving my body, and then just like my new latest thing is being logical with myself and asking like, okay, Tatiana, this is how you feel right now, and I know you've said it too, like your feelings are always valid, but they're just not always accurate. You know? It's like sometimes we're acting and emotionally and working from a place that is wounded within us.
And it won't help you move forward, really.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the logic that helps you like
break through. And you get to realize, you're like, oh, that's why I acted that way. But like it's not accurate. And so I feel like it's easy for me to be like, okay, like this is how I feel. All my feelings are valid. They're all welcomed at the table of my emotions, but I need to focus on the ones that are going to move me forward. And I feel like I am so busy. I have a lot to do. I have a lot of big dreams and aspirations. I don't have time to be on this emotional roller coaster.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that so hard. I literally just came from that on the last episode. I talked about it, and I feel like this is the first time where I just went to this realization. I don't know if you realized this earlier on, but I just got there. Because especially when you're in business and like things get thrown at you, and it's hard, and you're an emotional being, and then like you can't just react. I think it's the reaction of it all, like reacting to every little hump is very hard. It's
training.
It is like training,
and it's actually an interesting concept. Okay, you speaking about your story, and then in that moment, like you were saying, like I didn't know how to emotionally regulate myself. Not only did you not know how, you didn't know you needed to. like when we were that young, even if you're older, maybe at one point in your life, wherever you reach that breakthrough, like you don't think you need to.
Yeah.
And that concept to me is crazy because now I'm in the point in my life where I'm just like, if I don't, it's gonna be bad. Like if I don't, it's gonna be bad for others around me. So
exactly.
and I'm speaking on a perspective of where I reached my breakthrough was just like with family, like drama, family trauma, and like it's naturally just poured over into the other cups, right? Just like the way you react, the way you get triggered, whoever like just like gets under your skin or whatever gets under your skin, not in like a anger, frustration way, but whatever makes you feel, whatever controls you. And so the concept of it is crazy to me. So like this conversation is really eye-opening.
Already.
Really quick.
We don't waste no time.
We're really quick with it, but like I think now we're at the age where it is necessary and it is a necessity to emotionally regulate yourself. I think when we're that young, maybe it wasn't a priority because it didn't need to be. We're so young. Like we have so much more to navigate through now and like adult things to worry about other than our business and our goals and all these things. It's just our bodies are changing, our minds are changing. So like it makes sense because before I would get mad at just that concept. No, like I would get mad at like why didn't it click earlier? Why didn't I figure this out earlier? Why didn't these people figure out earlier? Because it's affecting me. Like all these whys. But instead of the why, it actually just is supposed to happen when it does. And when it does, dive in. Because like if you like reach this realization and you don't like play into it, you don't buy into it, then like you're kind of cutting yourself short of growth, right? And I think the concept of it, again, I keep repeating myself, is wild. Like our minds are so powerful, our bodies are crazy, like
we feel what we think sometimes.
Like we're very concept organisms. So I think when you bring logic into emotion, it's a nice peaceful balance. But obviously life is gonna throw stuff at you. It's gonna fluctuate naturally. Don't try to micromanage everything. But like now you're aware. And I think awareness is key to everything.
Is key.
Yeah, awareness is definitely key to everything, and I think you can walk around different in this world just with awareness. Like I don't know, I just need to say that. I just need to say that. Awareness with everything, okay? Not just emotions, but you don't need to be aware of like yourselves.
That's so perfect. Tyler, you're right on because so awareness within my program, it's all nutrition, it's all fitness, but I implement so much mindset into it because I learned early on, like, okay, I can write the sexiest workout plan, I can write the most perfect nutrition plan, but there's still going to be women that do not follow the plan. And we have to figure out why. And so the first step of mindset chapter 1, it's awareness, and it's understanding the importance of it. And I'm like, girlfriend, like talking to my clients, like if we don't know what's not working, we won't know what we need to change.
Exactly.
You know? And so then we write it all out, like what is affecting you from getting to this point where you really want to be. Bring loving awareness to that, right? Like we don't want to, I know what you mean by like, why didn't I figure this out earlier? Right, but it's like no need to shame, no need to guilt. Everything's happening as it's supposed to, and maybe it's just time right now that you were open enough to learn from it. You know? So awareness. It's amazing.
I think awareness is foundation for a lot of things, and I know we spoke before, like me and Tati got tea a couple weeks ago.
I love tea.
Do that once in a while with your friends. Go get some tea time. Have a little tea time. But like I remember in our conversation, let me just bring it up real quick, like we all come from different backgrounds in whatever you specialize, and like whatever you specialize, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a dancer, whether you're in fitness, whether you're in real estate, beauty, like there's always a foundation where you start, right? And so Tati talked about that during our tea time, and she was like, you can't lay a firm, like you can't have anything without a firm foundation. And I think if you can talk about that a little bit more, because I know you said first step is awareness, but you kind of like talked about moreover, if you don't have the right mind and also like you're not focusing your love in the right places for yourself, then like how can you like fall in love with this new journey you have with fitness? So I think I really want you to speak about that.
I want to know about that.
Like, let's tap in.
Let's go in. So knowing yourself is so important, and the whole premise of my program, it's called Embody Her, right? And we love her.
Aligned.
I know. So it's called Embody Her, and the premise behind that is I wanted to change in 2022. We were living in Costa Rica at the time, and you guys, I was surrounded by the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life, and it shook my confidence.
Oh, wow.
I was like, holy shit, everyone is beautiful. And then it just made me question, like, oh my gosh, I'm not enough. Like, and there was just these thoughts that I started focusing on, and Luke was with me. He was like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you not, like, I literally felt my energy, like, you know when you kind of like just close down, you put a shell on? Yes. And so I was like, and so it was that moment, we're sitting there, I'm in the jungle, right? And I'm just like,
Costa Rica.
Right, in Costa Rica, and I'm like, I want to feel more confident. And so I'm like, and it was right when I was working on this program and coming up with a name for it, and Luke helped, my fiance's name is Luke, and he helped me, and he was like, why don't you just call it like Embody Her? And he's like,
period.
you know,
He's the one that came up with
I know,
it, huh?
yes, credit where credit is due. Like that man, he is a king, and he was like, he's like, I've seen you. He's like, I've seen your potential all along. When I met him, I was 22 years old. I was a baby. I was a baby girl, you know, and he was older than me. And he always saw my potential. There was never any, I want to say pressure to like me to get there. He just always poured so much love into me, so much mindset. Like I feel like he has lived like 10 different lives, I'm not even gonna lie. And so like what he had to offer was just like a listening ear and like a guidance in the things that I've struggled with that he had also struggled with. And so he was like, you know what, I've seen you embody the versions of yourself that you wanted to be. So he's like, why don't you just call it that? And I was like, yes, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna practice right now. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be confident. I don't know how. I've never really identified like as a confident being when I think I was like 24 at the time. And I was like, so we're gonna do it. And so I was like, I'm gonna start to write out who I want to be known as. And I was just like, I was at this point in my life where I didn't really know who I was, what I stood for, or not that, I didn't know why. So, you know, like growing up, people were like, what's so important to you? And I'm like, I want people to know I'm nice. And I'm like, thinking back now, I'm like, nice? Wow. Like, you want people to think you're nice? What? You know, and the difference between being nice and being kind is one, you care about how other people perceive you, the other is just who you are. So I'm like, I just want to be kind. I don't want to care. I don't want to be and present myself as a specific identity because it matters to what other people think. And that's how it was all my life. So I was like, you know what, I want to be confident. I want to be intelligent. I want to communicate effectively. I want to impact women's lives. I want to grow and grow and grow and bring relationships with me. And so that transpired into my program called Embody Her, where now we set the goal right from the beginning and we visualize and we're like, okay, this is your goal, right? This is who you want to be. So like, what does she look like? What does she feel like? How does she talk to herself? And these are all things that I've done that have significantly benefited my life, my mental health, my emotional well-being, my spirituality. It's crazy. And so now it's just like, as long as you know yourself, or not even, you know who you want to be, you can get there. You just have to think like it and act like it. And that's what we do in Embody Her.
That's just so crazy because I relate to you so much because I literally did that. Like, I think it really helps to just like, I wrote like, what is like, how does she want to go about her days? What is she, basically all the same things, and it really helps. So what would you advise a woman that's just like still trying to, in the very beginning stages of trying to get to know themselves, and like, imagine they're sitting down and they're just like, what do I write? What the hell am I supposed to write on this? Like, do you have clients like that too? Like they just don't know? Like, where do you start
I have a
with
couple.
that?
I always ask for their goals, right? I need to ensure that my clients' goals are in alignment with even what I do. So first things first is like, let's get clear on your goals. And oftentimes, like I'm sure, if you don't know maybe what the daily thoughts are that your future self has, or you don't know exactly like what she feels like, I'm sure you can paint an idea of what she looks like even, right? So maybe she is fit, she's healthy, she's lean, and then maybe she's confident. So it's just a matter of like, okay, what we need to visualize and imagine ourselves. So I like to jump forward 6 months. My program is a 6-month program, and it's just we want to bring awareness into where we're at right now, but we want to think and visualize, like, if I really do believe that I'm the co-creator of my life, and I believe that I'm inherently worthy and I can have the life of my dreams without limiting myself, what would that look like? And I feel like that just allows women to come in and tap into their imaginative state and just really think about like, oh, you know what, like she's walking into Christmas dinner like just like feeling herself, you know, like she's confident, maybe she's got that cute new handbag, I don't know, maybe she has a new boo, you know, maybe she left a toxic relationship, like maybe she just feels lighter in every single way. So I would advise anyone that wants to start on this journey, like, you can do this on your own. It's just a matter of getting clear of what do you want to change, what isn't working for you right now, and being so honest. Like, I had to get really honest with energies that were serving me and energies that were draining me, you know? And if I can't spend time around people that are inspiring for me, again, with all my goals, with my aspirations, this isn't for everybody. I'm not cutthroat. I'm just very selective with the energies around me. So getting clear on that, because when you do that, you open yourself up to the opportunities of your goals actually finding you when you align with what's for you. So yeah, write down your goals, write down what isn't working for you, be really honest and hold grace, right? And then start to visualize and imagine and just believe. Like, we don't want to go too far. Like, I think when I first started like my manifestation journey, I was like, I'm gonna be a billionaire like next week.
Like tomorrow, yesterday.
Right. And so you gotta get real. So maybe it's like, okay, maybe you manifest a free coffee or like a parking spot. Oh, by the way, I got a parking spot right out there was the last one.
Nice.
It was so sweet. All the green lights. So just like starting small and believing in yourself, especially if a lot of women that I know that have come in have suffered from just negativity for a long, long time, and that's practice thought, you know. And so it's hard to just shift that and switch, but it's just, again, it's a practice. And the more that you do it, the more confident you are, therefore your reality starts to take place and change, and then that's like, oh, it's working.
And then on top of that too, it changes your perspective. And I think perspective is also another key word, because when you write down your goals, what you want to see for yourself, and then you start implementing it slowly, your perspective shifts on like your reality and like and what you want and how you see people, how you see what you want, and like how do you see yourself in the future, and then how you go about your day. It starts with your day, right? And I think perspective is really powerful too. And I think at a young age, I lacked it. Like, I lacked perspective, and it was just like, I'm in my own world, under my own cloud. But now it's just like, the sky's open, the sun's out, and I'm like, wow, like, okay, I'm upset, but I understand and I feel where you're coming from. I'm just gonna keep pushing in my lane, like perspective is everything, especially on yourself and like the way you see others, or yourself basically. Perspective, awareness, perspective.
Yes. Awareness, perspective. Let's take notes.
Can you say perspective? I'm just kidding. Spell it out. No, I think everything you're talking about right now, it definitely, I think we use the word alignment a lot here, but I think it's just
so this really connects. Aligns with.
It does. It really does,
episode.
And it. I don't think it's coincident. I think it's meant to be, because it fits so perfectly, like with what we're trying to do. I'm not trying to say like you're a puzzle piece, but I'm just saying like it just locked in like where it needed to without us even trying. Like we didn't even need to try to like force anything with this, and like the energy here and the conversations. Not only is it inspiring, and I hope it's like inspiring to other people too, it's just gonna open up so much more doors.
And that's it's so exciting.
It's exciting.
I feel like chills sometimes when I think about
it. Me too. And not only doors for us three, but like doors for everyone else, especially the women here in Sacramento that we're trying to help. We don't even know you yet, but like we're gonna be here, and we're excited for what's to come. So I think we can move on to like anything else you want to share with us.
Let's see. I feel like I've been on a kick of cultivating multiple different emotions that are helping me move forward. The first one was confidence. I feel like when you start to just like show up and really embrace yourself through acceptance, through awareness, it's just like you get to show up as you really like were supposed to on this earth. And then with that confidence comes this like belief. And I was just talking to my client this morning. It's so funny. She was working on her confidence too, and we were talking about how self-validating is like the fuel for confidence. Like imagine you're a sexy sports car, right? But like if you're not validating yourself, like you have no gas, you can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere far, right? And so it's just been this journey of I want to share this because I feel like it's really helped me. I know it can help a lot of your listeners. And it's just like cultivate confidence, practice it, because it's a skill, and at the end of the day, no one knows if it's fake or if it's real. And it just, I found that Delulu is a Salulu in this situation.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Awareness. perspective.
Delulu. Okay. Next.
It really is. So you start to act like that. You start to practice. You start to get comfortable. You're like, oh, okay, I can do this. And I have my clients start small. I'm like, start giving strangers compliments. Like, compliment people. Start getting comfortable working out in the middle of the gym. You know, put that sexy little sports bra on and just go with it. You know, like, trust yourself, because it's something you've always wanted to feel, but you're not going to just feel it when you lose 20 pounds. Like, you have to feel it in this present moment. You have to body it right now. And then the body is working in alignment.
Yeah.
Wow, that really pinched a nerve. like, oh my God, I have deja vu, because when I go to the gym, or when I did go to the gym, okay, I haven't been to the gym in a while, we'll talk about it later. When I did, like, I would always wear, like, something that would cover me, because I would always feel like, I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not qualified to wear the fit that I want to wear. Because if I haven't reached my goal, then I'm not going to look that way in that. Because that girl looked that way, and I don't look that way. Yeah. Like, I would always have that, like, association with clothing, specifically to the gym. I would always just, like, wear a baggy shirt. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with wearing a baggy shirt and, like, just whatever sweats or, like, spandex or something. Yeah. But in, like, my drawer, I have, like, a cord fit that's, like, coordinated, and I'm like, okay, like, I want to wear this, but, like, no, girl, like, your ass isn't fat enough yet, like, you know, like you know, like, or like your tummy, like, girl, you have stuff to work on. So, like, I really love what she said about, like, who cares? Like, you're not gonna feel, like, what makes you think you're not gonna feel the same way when you reach that goal? Like, what if you're unsatisfied? So, like, I really loved what you said, because it's changing a lot of my perspective.
More perspective.
Like her now.
More perspective. And I really love what you said about the car, and like, it's a really beautiful car, and if you don't have the gas, it won't go. But not only if it doesn't have gas, if it doesn't have the right gas. Because certain cars are very specific, right? You can do regular gas, but sometimes you need premium, baby. Like, you have to have, what are you fueling yourself with? And, like, I think you do a really good job in specifying and like pointing out what is best to fuel. Like, you don't just give people, like, oh yeah, like, I can tell you how to get there. But what you're doing is you're actually showing them the way. Like, you're showing them the actual road and steps. It's very specific, and not everyone's going to be the same, and that's what makes you so different, in my personal opinion. Like, coming from being an athlete, like, working with a lot of coaches and trainers, like, and just, like, I've just seen the formula so many different times. I'm just like, like, it's overplayed. I'm like, it's not for me. And, like, maybe I could come up with it myself, but then obviously that doesn't work sometimes. So, like, just seeing where you're coming from, and, like, the steps that you have and the non-negotiables you have for people, it's really refreshing. And, like, it puts a positive light on, and, like, working out, or like trying to lose whatever you're trying to lose, whatever goals you have when it comes to fitness, because it can get very, like, vain, it can get very, like, surface level, and that's what can, like, draw people away from, like, even going to the gym when they pay for it. So, like, I know that stopped me a lot of times, and, like, I come from, like, being an athlete, working out every single day, and, like I only had, like, 12% body fat. Like, I was just muscle, and then all of a sudden, like, my body's changing, and I have curves now, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm not motivated to go anymore. It's just that perspective, and, like, that energy you're giving yourself. Like, what are you fueling yourself with? And, like, that's the questions I'm actually asking myself, speaking to you right now. And I think that's what makes you so different. And, like, I think people really need to tap into her, and like, even other trainers. Like, I don't want to say just regular people who just want to, like, work out and have a plan and, like, lose weight and, like, do this.
I think you go a lot deeper than that.
I think you would be perfect for others who are trying to start what you're doing, because it's changing the approach. I feel like, and, like, it's changing the approach. Just like when people have, like, different misconceptions about medicine and, like, and the medical field, and, like, how it's very, like, fix the problem versus prevent, right?
Root cause.
Like, exactly. And sometimes it can get that way with training and, like, investing in yourself physically. So I think you would be perfect. I don't know. I'm, like, pitching something to you right now.
Pitch it. There's a dream here.
There's a dream. There's an idea of light bulb. I'm like, bro, like, I feel like are the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can change a lot of people's approach to how they train people. And not just train people, just like speak to them as clients, or like the formula you have is so, it's like gold, I feel like. It's so easy. It's so easy. Like I'm like, man, like I wish everyone like speaks like you and like has this. Well, I think they have to go through the things that you've gone through for you to reach this point. I'm not saying like do what she did, but like I don't know, if you can navigate people there through their personal experiences and how they can make their program personal to them. I think it'll draw in so much more people to want to be like healthy, because like that's why you guys are here. You guys are here to prevent anything from happening to these people. Longevity, you want them to live long, you know, like not just take all this medication and like try to work backward
and love themselves while doing it.
Exactly. So I just give you so much props, because like I'm so sorry you went through what you went through, but like the formula that's created, it's like so crazy. It's not crazy bad, but like I'm just like in awe.
Like how do you feel? Like I'm like I wake up every day like I did that.
Like, I feel inspired, to be honest. And you guys have probably seen me talk about it on my stories, but I think like apart from being loved, accepted, adored, right? I want to feel inspired, because inspiration, I feel like it's just, to me, it feels like infinite intelligence energy just working through me. Like I feel like I just can go when I'm inspired and I have an idea. I see the vision. I'm sure you guys have felt this too, right? Like with the podcast, with all the things, right?
Wait.
Right? You get the light bulb, and then you get the energy to just go.
Oh, it's definitely an energy.
We literally
flow.
have this like.
I said,
right?
I feel it.
We know exactly what you mean. Because every time we link up and like think of the events, think of for her, like we have this like let's go, and it's like the best feeling.
It's the best feeling
ever.
It's the best feeling you can cultivate. It's the feeling that's going to get you in the gym and have you stay in the gym. Motivation is going to come. It's going to go. It's like happiness, right? I feel like inspiration is like my joy. Like joy just comes from within. It doesn't matter what's going on around me. I'm unshakable. I can feel this because I'm cultivating it. You know. Inspiration is that kind of thing that's just like, it keeps me moving forward in a way that is so fun, and it has me believing in myself, and also it's been what's allowed me to let go of any jealousy and any envy that I have felt a lot of my life. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to other women. Like I feel like I would get in my own way because I would compare myself to other women on social media, right? In business, you know, being an entrepreneur, I'm just like, oh, I'm not where they're at. And it's just like, okay, wait, girlfriend, like you were putting out to the universe. You're saying that like that's not where you're at.
Exactly.
And if you keep putting that out, the universe is gonna be like, all right, this is not where you're at, you know?
Yeah, then it's true.
Yes. And I feel like right now so many people are feeling inspired by what I have to share, because that's how I feel. And to me, inspiration is really just like, it's letting you know that you can do this too. And to me, it's the opposite of jealousy. Like jealousy is looking at someone and being like, they have that and I don't. You know, and I can't, and I lack, and I'm without. Inspiration is like, they have that and I can do it too. And it just lights people up, and it brings people together, and it's so magnetic, and it cultivates, and it brings celebration, and it brings action that gets you closer to your goals. So to me, it's the best emotion, one of the best emotions that you can cultivate, and that's just like the ride that I'm on right now.
I think we're all the same. And just being like around it, like you're feeling like that, so then when you're around people like that, it just like creates
it's more, it bubbles up,
and then like everyone after being together, you kind of go off, and then you're kind of like opening more doors, you're thriving, and it's just like that's why we really want to really pour into like these events and getting people together, because it just the feeling of it, and then like being able to pour into other people, and then just creating something so special that now we can just continue to live our dreams.
And you guys doing that has, like you said, it has a ripple effect, because everyone that comes together, they feel that, and then it's a little bit more belief that they embody, and then they get to work more towards their dreams, and they inspire other people, and then those people that inspire, you know what I mean? It's a continuous, beautiful,
and we need
journey.
That.
We need it, and I can't not have it.
I'm saying,
like
I will die.
I need it around me at all times.
Absolutely.
And I think now tapping into it and now being exposed to it at a high level, back to back, kind of, I can't. Like, I don't see myself. I'm addicted. I can't see myself just like being like, okay, peace. I'm not kicking it with you guys. I don't want this anymore. What? No, that's like not even the vibe.
You don't really see much of that. I know I talked about it last time, but there are groups in Sacramento. But
they are.
But to be able to be more closer to it and in touch with it, and be able to actually be the person to facilitate these things is so cool.
It's cool. It's more rewarding than ever. I think a lot of people who ask me like, dude, you do so much. I'm just like when do you have time for yourself? I'm just like, well, like this is pouring into me like more than what a lot of people think. Like me, like in Serena, being able to help people. We haven't done much yet. But what we've done so far has made an effect, such a positive impact now. Like we didn't even do that much yet, so just imagine like what we can do like down the line.
I have a vision already.
Me too. I already see it
in my head.
I like boom, I see it. Just close your eyes. It's there. It's there, and like I'm it's contagious, and it's like it has to be on my list. It's a non-negotiable.
This was not even a dream.
It
like,
wasn't.
When we first started this podcast, it was just a podcast. And then it just happened. Like I didn't even know this was something I wanted. I didn't know how it was gonna feel. And it just came about through conversation and being with Callie a lot, because our energies really like
bounce off each other.
So that it created that energy.
Just positive. Wait, perspective, awareness. Delulu is the Delulu. You said inspiration and energy. No, literally, I think me and Serena, we always say this on every episode. We never knew it was gonna get. Honestly, it's just true. It's a fact, because the feeling is wild. Like we were like, let's just kiki on camera and just see what happens. But then we started tapping into other people's stories, and then not only
the guests that really
the guests really like brought a new purpose within what we wanted to do. Like again, we're kind of the blind leading the blind. Like we're not podcasters. I mean, now we are, but before we're like, okay, do you have a camera? Okay, I have a camera. Okay, do you have a light? Like I have a light.
You just got started. We just got started.
But we just knew like something was pulling us towards this direction, and now we know why. So like it's just a crazy feeling. I'm so grateful for you guys and Serena and Tati and like everything coming up. And like again, like I'm already feeling like so hyped right now. Like what we do and like what we planted.
That's your pre-workout.
That's my pre-workout. See, that's my pre-workout. I mean, I guess whatever, do what you need to do. But no, but the conversation has been very enlightening. I think we could talk about business all day, but I think I'd rather talk about,
because this is the foundation of it.
It really is.
It's hard to get into, as a woman especially, to start a business and just get into all the nitty-gritty of business without that mindset, without the feeling, the foundation, all of that, because it's freaking hard. Like all the things, all the obstacles, all the you're like relearning things, you're unlearning things. It's a whole ass roller coaster, and the only way to get through that is if you center yourself and just like know yourself. All the five.
Yes,
the five. All of those. I'm gonna put it on a shirt.
Me too.
It's all the Trululu part that's gonna throw it off.
That'll be in bold. Yes, that'll be in bold. Everything else
will
be
cute.
Merch. Okay, we're ready to see. We're already thinking about merch.
I love it. More dreams.
More dreams. You're welcome. More dreams. But like, what else do you want to tap into today? Like, we're open.
Open for combo. Anything you want to like that's on your mind, you just want to like get out of your system.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's so much. You guys feel like I've never been diagnosed with ADHD or ADD, but like self-proclaimed, right? But
I think I'm self-diagnosed.
Yes, self-diagnosed. And so there's so much always going on in my mind all the time, and I know a lot of women out there feel the same way, and it can feel hard to focus, and focus is required in order to grow and expand and reach your dreams and reach your goals. So a lot of everything I'm focusing on right now is just I want to continue to live up and be my best self. This year, 2024, has been the year of cultivating more joy. Because in the past, it's always been like, I want to get lean, I want to, stay fit, I want to grow my business and do all these things. And then 2023, I'm going to tell you guys a story. I think you'll love it. 2023, I was like, you know what? I want to be rich and sexy. And I was like, I'm not going to do anything that doesn't make me richer. I'm not going to do anything that doesn't make me sexier. And so it was a very easy filter to run everything through. Like if I was faced with a challenge, I'm like, does this make me richer? No, it's a no. Does it make me sexier? Yes, it's a yes. You know? And so I did that. And it was crazy because last year I doubled my business within 3 months. And I got, I've always been in shape, but you fine tune little things. Right. I was going hard. I was so consistent. And literally, I had the biggest, massive breakdown of my life. I sabotaged not everything.
Okay.
I sabotaged my way back because I felt like I didn't know how to deal with it, because I'm like, okay, I was richer, I was sexier, but I wasn't happier.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I had more money in my bank account, but like they didn't change the problems that I was still facing on a day-to-day. You know, I looked really good, but I wasn't validating myself, so it's like I was still
What was the why behind that then? Like the richer and sexier?
It was just like I was inspired by someone, because I think I saw a TikTok and she was like, I just want to be hotter, you know, and wealthier, and so my version was rich and sexy,
which sounds
sexy. And so it inspired me. But to be honest, I didn't know the intention then, but I do now. And so the intention now was like, okay, more than anything, Tatiana, like you wanted to feel joy, you wanted to feel accepted, you wanted to feel beautiful, you wanted to feel comfortable and confident in your own skin, but like you, as much as I can change like my bank account and my body, it's not going to do jack shit for how I feel and show up mentally and emotionally.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so this year has been cultivated to more dancing. It's been cultivated to more joy, to being present, and just like living life the way that I want to, in a way that feels good, that doesn't feel like pressure. And so I made a recap video of 2023 and I watched it last week, and I was like lightweight in tears, because I'm like, okay. I was like, wait, I feel like I've cultivated all those things and it's only July. You know, so that's one thing I want to say is like, if I can pass this on to your listeners, the practice of being so radically honest with yourself and knowing that you have to decide where you want to be, or else you're just going to be like a bag in the wind, you know, Katy Perry, going through and then just like affected by life. And you're going to feel powerless. And so I've been on this journey now, and I've revamped all my mindset coaching within the Embody Her program that focuses on showing women how they can feel and take their power back. You know, like just like how you said, like we can go into that victim mindset of like, why me, why this happened? Or you could be like, okay, that happened for the better. Like if everything is always working out for me, then it's happened for me, and I'm here to learn from it, right? Like your triggers are your teachers, and it's just a matter of taking those and having the courage to learn more about yourself. And so we've really been focusing a lot on visualization, taking your power back, improving your confidence without having to change the way you look just yet, because the whole premise of my program is it's a lifestyle change. We can't just change your lifestyle in 30 days. You know, I've tried, and I learned those are the people I do not want to work with. And so, like, if you can visualize it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands, and that's all we gotta know. And then from there, the rest is history.
Doing that before I go to sleep.
Yes, it's a great time. It's a great time. Oh, you know one thing I've been doing that you guys, I want to pass on to you too.
Yes. I'm listening.
So a lot of people have said, like, if you've probably heard the quote, like, if you want to be her, act like her, right?
Yes.
Mine is, you want to be her, think like her, because your thoughts are going to be what influence your actions. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think like her. Think. And so the part of what's helped brainwash my own brain, right, is positive affirmations, which are really just positive self-beliefs. And so what I've done is I've wrote out all of the positive self-beliefs of my future version self. I call her Tati 2.0, right? And so I write them all out, and then I recorded it in CapCut, put a little song in there, and I listen to myself say my positive affirmations every morning and every night. And this is, I think we're like 2 weeks in, so I'll circle back. But I want you guys to do that too, because it feels powerful, and I feel like I just go about my day and it's just like, oh, I'm confirming that belief, you know, and it's
Like your own personal podcast.
I am programming.
Because I'm one to listen to podcasts, YouTube, all that. I even sometimes listen to affirmations. And it's not my voice, but I never thought about like using my own voice.
How powerful! It's you.
Who more important than you, sister?
Totally.
You.
Come on.
It's your world.
Both of you looking at me in the eyes.
Wow. Okay, gosh.
Right.
Screaming at me.
That's so funny. I like that a lot. You guys should try it.
I know.
I'll try it with
It'll
you.
change your life.
I'll try it. I wonder how funny it'll be. Sometimes I'd be like, okay, I don't take myself serious sometimes.
But are you?
You can't take yourself serious.
But are you like, I am?
Because like, how do you?
Those are the ones I hear on YouTube. Like, I am beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
I am worthy.
Okay, some of them, honestly, they're a blend.
Some
of them are serious, and then I kid you not, I was laughing so hard because as I was recording them, Luke was like walking past like the part of my office, and I was like, I am a motherfucking delight, and he was like started laughing, and he was like, you are, babe, and so I was just like, bless that man. But like, yes, like you want to think about like how you want to feel, like, right? Like, what is the future version of yourself for my future self, right?
Period.
Shout out. What is she thinking about herself? Because if you can influence your thoughts, you can then influence your actions, and then your actions will influence your habits, and it's your character, and it's your whole life.
Oh,
so we just jump right
to
the shortcut of everything. I don't waste any time changing habits without going first to the belief, the programming of all of my clients. And so write out all the things that you want to believe about yourself. If like honestly, I had to get to the point where when I first started, I didn't believe that I was rich. You know, I had like $14 to my bank account when I was like 19 years old.
Right.
Trying to put gas. I'm like trying to pump gas, and I had just learned about positive affirmations. Like, I am abundant.
Oh,
I am abundant. In which it doesn't work that way.
No, it's not realistic.
You need that positive emotion to go with that positive affirmation. And so I started only doing it when I would feel it. And so the affirmations have to be right for you. And so I would go on YouTube, and I was just like, you know what? None of these feel authentic to me. So I was like, I'm just going to write mine own out, and they're going to be based on who I see myself as, and they're going to be emotions and beliefs that I've always wanted to cultivate. Like, I am confident, like, I am stunning, you know, the way I show up is radiant and magnetic, and you start to see your life. Perspective change.
Let's rewind. Okay, perspective, awareness,
Delulu,
inspiration, energy. Okay, just want to make sure we didn't forget.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah. Was that it?
Yeah.
I think that's it for now.
Okay, I'm sure. Make sure I remember.
Oh no, yeah.
Repetition.
Those are the talking points. We're gonna put that in the title. Delulu is. I'm just kidding. Honestly, it'll be clickable. Anyways. Okay, look at us. Our marketing highs coming out
on the top of the thumbnail. Just
Delulu is a Delulu. No, not that. I'm a Tati.
I know, right?
No.
That's so funny.
You guys figured it out.
Yeah, for as like. I always hear about positive affirmations. I've never bought in just because I've listened.
It never worked for me.
I've listened to them, and I'm like, it makes me feel like cringy.
You know how it is though, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's just you don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Well, like I don't believe what they're saying, but now I like what you said about if I'm saying it. Then I'm like, okay, now I get it.
Are you recording yourself for your face or just the audio?
Just the audio.
Okay.
And you know what? Just to make it cute, because it has to be cute, you can add in little like B-roll of you doing something cute, and it's like you're seeing yourself, like, and you're hearing these affirmations over and over again. So it's a good way to learn, because what you're doing is you're reprogramming, you're rewiring. That takes energy and effort. And I'm a visual and audio learner.
Okay.
You do those at the same time, you'll learn immediately. And so put captions on, you know, put a little background of you doing something cute, and you see it, right?
People thought, I already know what to do.
Right now, look how you look. I mean,
thank you. Guys, thank you.
It reminds me of when actually I did do something like that.
Yeah. Go, sister.
I was watching Devil Wears Prada and drinking lots of wine.
I love Devil Wears Prada wine.
And I paused the movie, and I was like, I'm freaking record myself, because I feel so freaking good. I feel so freaking confident. No, I don't know if you should clap, because it was just I don't know if you
But the feeling, you see, that's the positive emotion.
But I have it in my voice. I'm not going to play it, but I was just like, you're that bitch.
Yep.
I was a little aggressive with
That's
it.
okay.
No,
that's
so I did actually do a
okay.
little not dumbed down. Just a more sober version of that. So yeah, I was like, it's comedy when I listen to it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, I can't wait. Wow.
They're powerful.
I can't wait.
Yeah, powerful. And I want to say something about that real quick too, because I work with a lot of women that, you know, maybe aren't in full on in spirituality, and they're like positive affirmations, like woo woo, whimsical. And I'm like, if you break it down psychologically, it's just a belief you either have about yourself or you don't.
Right.
We're practicing
it's very simple
positive or negative affirmations all day long. Exactly. Whatever's the majority is going to be what shows up in your life. That's it.
So before we end the episode, we ask our guests 2 important questions. Okay. So the first question is, what do you want to say to your younger self? And look at the camera when you say it.
Okay.
And then while you're thinking of that, like either what you would say or like how you would view her, like it can be along any of those lines, because sometimes when we say like, oh, what would you say? It's kind of like a hard question. Yeah. So like you can think about it. You can think about it, because a lot of people
have different. We have people say like they wouldn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
Just like
whatever
you did what you need to do.
You know. Yeah. So yeah, you can definitely think about it.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. You ready?
Yeah. So, baby Tati. That's actually not that hard, because I filmed a TikTok doing the same thing. I never do it.
I love that. Good. Okay, 2.0.
Yeah, here we go.
The TikTok.
Yeah, here we go. So I would say to baby Tati that I'm so proud of you. The path that you are on is the right one. It might feel like you're alone sometimes, but you're not. And as soon as you can cultivate this thing, believing in yourself, you are going to start to see your life unfold just the way you've always dreamed of it. So that's really the only thing I would say to you is you're doing amazing. I love you so much. I can't wait for you to meet me. And believe in yourself because, baby girl, you are it.
Woo!
I love that.
Yes, and to follow up with that question, like, what would you say to your future self? And what questions would you ask, or what would you want to see? Like, anything along those lines.
You guys are
what would you
crazy.
want to
She's
talk to
watching,
her?
like, let's
Like,
say
she's
future Tati is watching.
Not even 1 year from now, but maybe like 10 years from now. Something
I
like
love
you can
this.
go to that
It's like a
extreme
time
if you
capsule. You
want.
come back
No,
here
this is
and
great. I
listen to
literally
yourself.
astro projected yesterday and did this. So
Nice.
let's do it. I don't know that I'd say much. I'd want to know stuff, but I'd want to. I just think I'd want to say I'm proud of you. Really, like we've walked all these steps. We've gone through this journey. I've trusted the process more easily now than I have ever in my life. So I just want to say I'm so excited to meet you. That's really it. I'm so excited to live today. I'm so excited to experience my life tomorrow. So I can't imagine 10 years from now how beautiful and wonderful and lovely everything is going to be. So I'm just so excited, and I know I'm going to meet you. So.
Yay! We can't wait to meet you too, girl.
I know. We'll see you there.
Yes.
You can't get rid of us.
I don't know how many events we would have done by then.
Right? A lot.
Ooh.
How many dreams have we made come
Established.
true?
I know.
Established. Yes. Thank you so much for being here
Thank
today.
you so much. You really
It's all
filled our
mine.
cups today.
You did.
thank
You
you.
did.
You
And I
filled
hope we filled yours as well. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Whoever's listening out there, you guys are very valued, and we are very appreciative
you
of
a
your
lot.
time. We love you a lot, whoever you are. But we hope that you've loved this episode as much as we have. We will have more coming your way,
Yeah.
but really take the time to listen to what we talked about today. 'Cause it's very important.
Take notes.
Take notes. Take notes. But yeah, look out for future Embody Her events. And then look for future
Just
for
her events in general.
Her events.
Her-
You already
her
know we're
events.
collaborating. And again, this is not a space of competition. It's a space of inspiration. So
You're welcome.
it's gonna be constantly flowing. And then tell people your Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes, so you can find me on TikTok and Instagram. TikTok's Tatiana Yasmine. Instagram is Tatiana.Yasmin. You'll find me there. Give me a message. Send me a message. I'll give you a follow, and we'll connect there.
Yay!
Thank you guys.
Oh,
I love it.
thank
Thank you, ladies. That was
Thank you.
wonderful.
Yeah. We'll see you guys on
the
our
next
next podcast. Bye.
Bye.